What's going on? Killazilla is back with another Crossout video. We have an update. A lot of craziness happening. I didn't even get into it. I didn't even look at it first. We're going to look at it together, but we all know what was coming, so let's see what we got. Now, remember, in all my videos, I always have everything chaptered, so if you don't like a certain part or you don't care about a certain part, jump to the front, jump to the end, jump to the middle, jump wherever you want. But let's jump right in. July 17th. So let's jump right in. July 17, 2025, Crossout Frontier. Hello, survivors. This update brings a lot of new features, including balance changes, favorite brawls, a new armored car with unique parts, and a brand new brawl set in the enchanting vastness of space. Obviously, there's a new pack, and of course there is, because I just spent all of my cross crowns. A couple of new things, nice new paint. I don't know if this guy's new, but that looks awesome. So this new pack will be available from July 24th to August 24th. Now here's the thing. It's a month long. There's 3 different versions. There's Elite, there's the regular, and then there's the light version, right? The regular version will be there forever. You can only buy the Deluxe, the Elite Deluxe, or the light version in these 30 days. Now the light version is very cheap. Anybody can afford it. You'll get your new cabin. You'll get to play with the new item, right? So that's cool. But the Deluxe version does come with like extra stuff. More like decor, not really that important. But if you're like really into this cab and you want this new cab so bad, the light edition is like 13 bucks. You know what I mean? You have either one you can buy. And like I said, that other one, the middle version, will always be there. So there's no rush to buy that, you know? But it is a nice way to get a set of all the items so you can fuse them in the future. You know what I mean. The armored car, the Relentless Deluxe Edition, comes with the Ajax, which is the new cabin. It is a heavy epic cabin at 1500 power score, 63 km/h max speed, 9,000 kilogram tonnage, 18,000 kilogram mass limit, 22 points of energy, 490 points of durability, and 3,300 mass. Wow. Now the perk, it creates a protective field that absorbs. Where is it? A protective field that absorbs. There it is. Almost all damage from fast-moving objects and energy streams for 6 seconds. It has reduced resistance to blast damage and is not hidden by invisibility generators. Cooldown is 12 seconds. The first 2 seconds of active time, the field does not lose its durability, and if it is hit by a projectile, it increases the damage of all mounted weapons by 15% for 6 seconds. The cabin reduces the active time of the Aegis Prime modules mounted on the vehicle by 80%. Obviously, you can't just go shield crazy, bunch of barriers and Aegis Primes on top of an already shielding car. I mean, it goes completely around your car, and if it eats the first bit of damage, you should be good to go. It's basically like a buffed up Nova that covers more of your car, right? Absolutely beautiful. And like I said, you're going to have the Deluxe. There's no way this is real. Stop! So like I said, you're going to have the Deluxe Edition, you're going to have the regular edition, and then you're going to have the light edition, right? Everything just kind of like loses a little bit as we go cheaper and cheaper. But obviously, you're going to get the new cab, the Ajax, I'm sorry, in any of these 3 packs. Now, we also have a new game mode, the Frontier Brawl, which we all knew was coming. It's the Space Brawl. Check this out. I get a thumbnail. Huh? This looks crazy. Who's that? What weapon is that? It's gotta be pre-built. I hope it's pre-built. Boosters, love boosters. Love a good booster while you're flying. I hope the maneuverability is like a helicopter. That seems crazy. That turning was nuts. What? That's a lot of energy. What are these, Leviathans? Are we driving around Leviathan spaceships? Oh, so this is kind of like the drone apocalypse, I think. Like, see, there's a smaller ship and there's a bigger ship. It looks fun. I like flying. I'm not gonna lie, I like flying. So let's get into it. This mode will be available from July 17th to July 23rd. The Frontier is the first team brawl in Crossout, which allows you to feel like a real pilot of a combat spaceship. It's an event. We can't get mad at it. I like events being different. Again, but it's so hard because, like, you can't be so into it and like it because then they put it into the game. You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's a great event idea. I love this as an event, but I don't want this in the real game. The goal is to score more points than the opposing team in the allotted time. The brawl has respawns. There are 3 standard ships for players to choose from. The bomber is a heavy starship for destruction. The fighter is a battle starship for offense. And the vulture is a fast starship for surprise attacks, which is probably that thing that was flipping through the air. The player fills a special elite ship scale when they damage or destroy enemy ships. By filling the scale, the player will automatically receive a special elite ship during the next respawn. The scale can also be filled by picking up special bonuses located in different corners of the space station. During the battle, allied and enemy shuttles will randomly appear on the map, and if the shuttle belongs to your team, it must be protected. See, exactly like I said, but this is like the drone apocalypse. So basically, we're going to be in smaller pre-built ships protecting the bigger Leviathan ships. Pretty cool rewards, but we also have other events. They're telling us like what's to come, right? So we're going to have the Battle Walkers Brawl, which is basically just the Battle Walkers in classic mode. Now, if you didn't watch the video on like the settings before they really announced, like this update was announced, and then I went over what was going to happen. Some things stayed, some things didn't, but this isn't part of the game. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be a Battle Walker classic brawl. No eggs. Basically classic mode. All of the legs are getting nerfed to the gods, just like the other video. This is something new right here where the sideways movement is going to be messed with. So every perk and all the movement and every little stat of your legs is going down the drain, right? Just so we can play this brawl. But I do like the fact that it is a brawl. It's not just the regular game, so we'll see how it goes. Again, we can't test that. This is all going to be on July 24th to July 30th. And then we are going to be getting the For the Emperor Brawl, which I like very, very much. July 31st to August 6th, which if you played it before, you know, they had the regular like tanks and drones and stuff like that, the Rippers. And then they had the mech one. I do like the mech one. I like both of them. Anyone that I played in the last 2 years, I always like For the Emperor. I have videos on that as well. And then Impulsiveness. Impulsiveness is coming back August 7th to August 13th. We all know what this is. If you don't know what this is, look on my channel, type it in. This is where all your weapons throw people. You ever see people flying through the air after you shoot them with something with a lot of smack to it? Well, they go flying. It's a great time. It's one of the best events, hands down. Tell me if I'm wrong or tell me if you agree. I love Impulsiveness. That's going to be August 7th to August 13th. And then we're going to have Test the Prototypes Brawl, which is August 14th to August 20th, which is basically like a different type of weird goofball preset build. You pick from that, and then you just have at it with some type of builds that you normally wouldn't be using. And then the Rippers Brawl is coming back August 21st to August 27th, which is always a good time. I love these Rippers. Rippers are a relic, so if you don't own them, or you probably never will, this is a great time to play with them, get a feel for them, and just have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? Clan Confrontation is bumping up to 10,000 power score. I am very excited for this. I've already rebuilt the GL car. It hurt me to do it, but an extra 1,000 power score. I didn't want to ruin the 9,000 one I already had, so I just rebuilt it, basically similar, but just beefier. I fixed all the bad parts, which there weren't many on that beautiful car. So we do have a 10,000 power score version, and we will be acing and ripping apart full teams. The build mode is also getting an added new feature, the Assembly Assistant, which is basically like the pre-build or the auto build, except it looks like it's going to be more competent, right? It'll actually give you a functioning structure of frame, cab, movement parts, then you're just going to have to armor it up. Right? So it's like a coloring book. They give you the lines, you just got to fill it in, right? You got to armor that sucker up. I like that a lot. The miscellaneous, the AI raiders of both teams in the PvP modes will now have the same armored vehicles, which means One team will not be completely outgunned by the other team because each team will have the same amount of bots with the same exact builds. So it'll be completely fair, at least on the bot end. Now for the parts that everybody's been waiting for, the nerfs and the buffs. Let's check these out. So all machine guns except the miniguns, the Miller, the Reaper, Devourer, they're getting an increased projectile size, which means bigger bullet, easier to hit your target. The Lapura, the Sledge. So listen, most of these are going to be very similar, so to make it easy, let's just do this, right? The Lapura, the Sledge, and the Mace, the Thunderbolt, the Hammerfall, the Breaker, they're all getting basically the same thing, right? They're getting more range, more max range, more optimal range, and then the Thunderbolt, the Hammerfall, and the Breaker are getting a little bit of a damage buff. Now, the Thunderbolt is getting a 15%, which is insane, and this is going to be a wonderful weapon to use now. And then all the other ones are getting a spread, right? So the Junk Bow, the Fafnir, the Nidhogg, the Jormungandr, their spread is going to be fixed. The Junk Bow, the Fafnir, it's getting horizontal reduced by 20, vertical reduced by 7. The Nidhogg is going to get the same spread as the Jormungandr, minus 15%, so a tighter grouping. And then the Jormungandr is also going to get a reduced 15%. So these are basically going to be doing the exact same thing, right? Now, the rocket launchers are very similar, like I just said. Like, the stats are the same, but the numbers are different here. So the Wasp, the Pyralid, and the Locust, the energy consumption is dropping from 8 to 6. Then you're going to have power score reduction, durability increase, mass increase, and a damage reduction, which seems crazy, but you're going to be able to put more on the vehicle, which will make up for that little bit of damage loss there. Plus, it spreads out the weapons, so you can't be stripped as easily because you have more weapons, obviously, right? Now, the Locust is also going to get a perk active time increase and a reload time reduction, which kind of sucks, but it does make sense here. These would be just crazy good if they didn't, so I guess it does make sense for balancing. Same thing now with the tracks. All of these tracks, the small track, the Sleipnir, the hardened track, the armored track, the tank track, the Goliath, are all getting a 5-mile-an-hour increase, or 5-kilometer-an-hour. Holy Jesus. A 5-kilometer-an-hour increase, right? And that's because the Golden Eagle used to make the tracks faster. They took that perk away. Now we can't do it. So now they're just going to give us the extra 5 miles an hour, which is pretty awesome. Fire puddles are all getting a little bit of a buff. The Incinerator, the Mandrake, and the Pork. The Incinerator is getting 20% more damage to movement parts and speed of heating them up. So that's the same for the Mandrake, but 25%. For the Porcupine, it's 30%. And this is going to help you use those puddles to control the fight, right? You don't need just a direct hit. You can kind of put those fire puddles in areas to where now they don't want to go through. Because if they do, they're going to lose their wheels, lose their hovers. And then they're sitting in a puddle of fire, right? Not good. The special parts, the Tempura is getting a damage increase by 21, the 45% ram damage resistance, and the 30% melee damage resistance. Low efficiency, obviously. In the Pilgrim, the perk now applies to any type of damage, not just energy, which I've went over in the other video. Absolutely awesome. Like I said, I will be linking that video at the end, which is way more in depth if you don't understand what I'm saying, but for the most part, you should, right? The Jockey, the activation zone is increased from 40 to 50. Then you're going to have some more perk accumulation time reduction and a perk cooldown increase. The Oculus is basically getting a nerf because it was better than the Verifier, right? The Verifier was the epic version of it, and nobody used it because this was just better. So this is getting a little bit of a nerf here. The Taki is getting a just like the Tempura, which is the little version, the damage increased by 21, 45% ram damage resistance, 30% melee damage resistance. The Nagel is getting a damage increase by 15%. 15%, and I'm with it because I want to use these so bad, and now I have more of a reason to use them. The Varin and the Astreus are also weapons I had a hard time using, so I haven't really used them yet, and both of these are getting a little bit of a, I would call it a buff, right? I mean, it is a buff, let's get real. The Varin, the damage is increased by 10%, the perk damage bonus is reduced from 10% to 7%, the projectile speed is increased by 45%, and the perk no longer affects projectile speed, which is huge. This is obviously why it wasn't used, because of the complex mechanics, and it was just difficult and stupid to use, so it didn't make sense to use this over the Spike or the Toadfish, right? The Astreus is the same thing. It's going to get a huge increase in damage, whether it's no charge, full charge, doesn't matter, and it added 20% bonus to reload speed after an overcharged shot, which will then allow you to use both charged and uncharged shots and have some type of bonus to go with it. The Spike 1 is going to also be getting a durability increase. The ATGM Flute, which is a weapon nobody's using, right? I would love to, but let's get real. It's kind of hard, and no, I'm just not spending money on this yet. Increased rocket maneuverability. The ammunition is increased from 6 to 8, so the maneuverability, it says down here that it's going to simplify and make it way easier to use, but I don't see that happening just because it's more maneuverable. Maybe it won't bottom out, or it turns like on a dime. That would be cool. We'll have to see how it feels. The AC-64 Joule, damage reduced by 7%. Time to overheat is reduced by 20%. And the perk overheating slowdown is reduced from 25 to 20. So, not the biggest nerf. This could work to balance it, very much so. I don't think it's enough, but we're going to have to see, obviously. So, they changed the perk on the Quantum, and it now works as follows. If the vehicle does not receive damage for 3 seconds, the weapon damage gradually increases by 5% per second. Maximum bonus is 20%, and the bonus reduction upon taking damage doesn't really even exist anymore, because every second after that 3 seconds, you're going up 5% until you top out at 20. Then when you take damage, you lose 5%. You take damage again, you lose 5% again. But if in between those two hits, if you gain the 5% back, see, you're maintaining some type of buff, right? You're not just losing it because you got hit with a stray machine gun bullet. I do like this a lot. The Kensi is getting a perk reload time reduction and a perk duration reduction. The Manitao is also getting a perk damage bonus. It's increased from 20 to 30, which I don't think is anywhere near enough. This thing doesn't, it even says down here, it's not used because every other cabin that does reloading, it makes more sense to use that. I don't understand this cabin. I don't think I ever will. You're going to have to make this like 70% for anybody to even want to use it, right? That's my opinion. But the Halcab is also a big favorite of mine. It's getting a perk activation zone increase, a perk charging reduction, and a perk cooldown increase. Very similar to the Jockey. The Photon, the perk now applies to all types of damage, not just energy, just like the Pilgrim. And the Savior is basically now a mini machinist. Basically, that's it. Now, the Sabbath is getting a 1% and a 1 second increase. Great. The Claw, now the perk starts to reset only after the damage is dealt, not after firing the weapon. So if you miss your shot, you're not going to lose your damage buff, which is awesome. I don't miss too much, but when I do and I wasted that buff shot, dude, it drives me crazy. So this is cool. The MR2 Maple, which does help your spread a lot. It's going to be much easier to use at a much slower speed, which is big time, but you will need to use some type of tail rotor, like an impeller or a hummingbird. The impeller is also getting a little bit of a nerfy buff type of deal where it's not going to be as good, but it's going to be able to be used more efficiently, right? So it was harder to use before, and it was really good when used right, but you can only use it in specific situations. Now you can use it in more situations, but it won't be as good. I like that. The Garita is also getting a speed increase back to what it was before, because now that the speed balance happened, they should have changed this back anyway, but now we're just getting a 5-mile-an-hour increase. The Icaruses are both getting perks. So the Icarus 4 is going to get more damage protection for every enemy within a 50-meter radius, and the Icarus 7 is now going to get 15% for every 18% of durability lost. Now, the widget and the widget steering are getting nerfed into what I believe obscurity, right? No one's going to use these anymore. These were very niche, oddly used wheels, but they worked well when they were used right, but they weren't easy to use. So I don't really see the point in why they nerfed these. They didn't seem that crazy to me, and what you're doing to them, you're basically ruining them. So I'm not going to be using them anymore. The Days is getting energy consumption reduced from 6 to 5, which is pretty cool. Power score is reduced from 810 to 675. You're going to be seeing Days probably a lot more, and it's going to be annoying to deal with, but it's part of the game, and it is a cool little feature, right? Power unit is also getting a huge buff, dude. Half the energy, half the power score, basically. All reduction. It evens itself out, right? What it says here is it limits the variety of possibilities. And again, you don't really use this on a lower power score build, but now you kind of can. And then in a higher power score build, you can use this and then add stuff in like an Aegis Prime or a Cap King because you're saving a little bit of energy, right? Now for legendary parts, the Chiron is getting a damage increase, maximum spread reduction, a spread increase when turning is also reduced. So this thing right here, I haven't used too much. I like when I did use it. I liked what I saw. It seems like a good balance to me. But the Athena, the volley size is reduced from 10 to 8. The damage is increased by 25%. That's huge. Now, you're losing 2 bursts or 2 shots in the burst. So it's kind of evening itself out, right? And then the heating is also going to be increased slightly. And then the corners will now be welding spots. So it does balance itself out. It's just going to make the shots count more, which is nice, right? Because having 10 shots means you could possibly miss more shots, but having 8, if you land the majority of them, you're going to be doing a lot more damage. The compiler, the reloading time after a plunging shot is now reduced by 65%, which just means, I've said it in my compiler video, when I charged up the mortar shot, unless somebody was hiding behind something, it didn't seem worth it for me to use it, because then I have to reload. I'd rather just shoot the burst again. You see what I'm saying? Now, nah, it's not like that. You're going to shoot the mortar, because once you shoot the mortar, it almost instantly reloads, and you could just burst anyway. So if you don't, you're just wasting a mortar shot, which nobody's going to do. This is awesome. It does make the duality of that weapon usable again, right? The Toadfish, the durability is increased from 422 to 506, similar to the Spike. The Thersis is getting a damage increase by 55%. Reload times increased by 1.5 to 3, which is double. Added welding points to the corners of the base, just kind of like the beautiful Athena. And the Jupiter, the ball lightning damage reduced from 12 to 10 meters. Oh, cool. Again, people, this is 10 meters around the build, not a 10-meter ball with the build in the middle, which would be 5 on each side. This is 10 meters in all directions. This is still bad. This isn't good. I don't think this will fix it. I don't like this. The commit, the damage is reduced by 20%. Nice. Damage bonus to structural parts is increased. So, again, all this means is no one's going to be stripping your weapons right away, because they're not going to be one-shotting them. It'll be like a 2-shot, which will be a lot harder to do. And then it does still allow the weapon to have its weird little functionality, right? Now you can take out structure parts. You can immobilize people easier, right? But it doesn't stick in the ground anymore, so you can't use it as a in-the-ground spike, right? You only can shoot it. It will still stick in the ground, but it's not going to damage anybody who goes over it. Now the cohort is going to get a tonnage increase and a mass limit increase. Now the beholder is going to have, for mode 1, the active time is increased from 5 to 8. The reload time is reduced from 23 to 16. For mode 2, invisibility is now removed with a delay, not only after taking damage, but also after firing. So right after you shoot, bloop, you're back on the radar, buddy. The Nox, the passive increase of the weapons and the penetration is increased. And the active, listen, everything right here is increased except for the Scorpions. Everything is reduced. It's crazy, right? I haven't even got to use that combo yet, but it's already done up, so too bad for me. The mainframe is basically getting a change to where it's a percentage instead of a points of durability. So it's 15 instead of 700. It's 25 instead of 40, 35 instead of 19, 10 instead of 15, so on and so forth. You kind of get that. It's pretty obvious, right? It makes sense because then you have to max out your durability to use the cab. You can make like a decently durable mainframe build and not be losing out on its beautiful perk. I haven't logged on yet, so I don't really know what these look like. I'm just going to read it. So for the interface, the changes that are marked by a heart icon are largely or fully inspired by your feedback, suggestions, and comments. Improve the appearance and functionality of the Market tab. Added filters for available only offers and for the types of parts in this section category, e.g. light, medium, or heavy cabs only. All items are now displayed with a single window. Range construction items can now be shown and hidden using the corresponding filter. Oh, because you can filter them out. Added a favorites tab where you can add items that you would like to keep track of without having to search for them every time. That's cool. Added a scroll to the list of items. Added autocomplete options in the search field. Cool. For technical reasons, the trade history now only shows transactions made in the last year. Not a big deal. Added quick market and badge exchange shortcuts to various game windows to make buying missing parts more convenient. Improve the exhibition search. You can now select parts that should not appear in the search results. You can now select parts that should not appear in the search results. You can now select the number of parts that should appear in the search results. Added a filter to show battle walkers only. Nice. That was cool because you could do helicopter, Leviathan, car, but you couldn't really pick a mech. Now, if you were missing any part of the save blueprint, you could purchase them using the special buy missing parts button. There better be a confirmation button on that because somebody's going to do that by accident and have the coins to buy the parts, and they're going to be so mad. Updated the interface of receiving gifts and pack purchase confirmation. Added preset button binds for controllers in build mode for technical reasons. Players on consoles with orbital camera options selected for build mode may find that it's changed to free camera. You can revert the orbital camera option in the settings. I just realized something. It said that it updated the interface for receiving gifts and pack purchases. Huh. I'm wondering if that means the free packs. So now, if you get on the game, can you just click somewhere and get all the free packs? I hope so. That would be awesome. Added buttons to the blueprint part list window that allow you to remove all stickers and or paint from your blueprint at once. Pretty good. The sound was also improved. The sound of the vehicles exploding recorded and added new sounds, improved the old ones, changed the frequency response and dynamics. Y'all finally killed Wade. Improved Wade's voiceover. Disabling the voiceover in the settings now also disables Wade's voiceover. The option can be found in menu, settings, audio, advanced, enable voiceover. See, I like in-game when they comment and they say like, nice shot or something. So I don't want to get rid of that. So I can't get rid of him, right? That sucks. He should be his own thing. Increase the interval between Wade's lines in the test drive. Honking at Wade is not affected. In the miscellaneous, they implemented the Battle Eye anti-cheat system. Yes, please God, tell me this works. Why can't we just get rid of cheating, guys? It's not hard. It's not hard. Go on the website, buy the cheat, work backwards and figure out how and why it works, and then get rid of it. It's not hard to do. Please, dude. Cheaters are killing games. And I just will never understand that mentality, dude. I can't. Last but not least, the bug fixes. Fix the bug that caused paint to not be displayed in the myriad movement part when viewing it through the paint parameters. Fix the bug that caused the myriad, unlike other mechanical legs, to significantly exceed their maximum speed when using boosters. Fix the bug that caused armor cars with one or two myriads to have significantly higher turning speed and acceleration compared to the armor cars with three or more. And fix the bug that caused the incorrect collision module for the Nox cabin. Fixed the bug that caused the absence of the Forbidden Zone at the border of the orbital station map. It fixed the bug that caused the glowing in the hangar. It also fixed the AI armored aircraft to be added in the battle for uranium when players left the battle. What? I don't remember that happening. Fixed the bug that caused the perks to accumulate by dealing damage to accumulate when firing at vehicle wreckages. Fixed the bug that caused some environmental objects to be located in the air at the Narcograd map. It fixed the bug that allowed players to fly outside the Rock City map. Incorrect calculations involving maximum range and projectiles. The collision module for the Rock and the Foundation Canyon map to disappear. Change the sound of hits on parts from the trigger and the structure weapons. Change the bug that caused challenge tabs to partially obscure the list of players on the map screen during battle. Caused the welding point on the battle walker shoulder right part to disappear. Caused projectiles to incorrectly attach to the Greed of One mechanical legs. Caused the effect of destroying the Miller minigun to disappear. Caused tabs to switch sequentially when repeatedly pressing the left button on the controller's directional pad. And fixed the bug that caused the production of epic faction banners to ignore the player's workbench coupons. Improved a number of in-game text and icons. A lot of these must be console only. Please let me know, because a lot of these I never even heard of and I never seen, and I play a lot. All right, here we go. The Frontier. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the Leviathan did terrible. He didn't win once. That's awesome. Let me just send this guy out really quick. Everything kind of seems the same right now. Okay, I see what's going on here. This is nice. Okay, wait a second. Yep. Oh, boy, now we're getting specific. I love this, dude. The market does look cleaned up, not gonna lie. I like this a lot better. I definitely like this. Now, I used to make event videos. Every single event that there is, I have a video for it, right? I didn't double up, so there should just be one explaining it in detail, how to play it, and then the rewards. Like, if there's good rewards now, I'll make one, so I have to make it now. Because, look, this sticker is awesome, ×2, which is something I said in earlier videos. Some of my earlier event videos, they give you one eye sticker, or one sticker that is supposed to go on both sides, right? So I said, like, it's stupid because now you have to, like, wait for the other one to maybe come by or get lucky enough to get the other one in a box. Any of these stickers that are, like, dual, there should be 2. You should be getting them in 2s. So I like that. 80 badges, not too bad. This little military reserve, I like. This is a solid yellow. If you're making a school bus or you just need yellow, that's a great yellow. 80 coins is great too. Humanitarian aid. This is all classic event stuff. But look at this. And it's tradable. What is this? I love this. Why? Because it's unique, it's weird, it's goofy, and it's something that if you don't play the event and get this, you probably won't get it any other way, or you'll have to buy it, right? I'm not going to say it should be so unique where you can sell it, because some people will never use this and they're free to play, and selling it for a couple hundred, it helps them out. So either way, it's great to have stuff like this, and I've said this in all my videos. This is a very rare, cool item that somebody like me, I want to keep it. I want to collect it, so I want to do this. Other people who are free to play, they want to sell it, so they will play this, right? Then again, this brawl does look fun, so let's get into this brawl. We have a wire reward, not too bad. Let's see what we get. Okay, here we go. We're in. Everybody seems to be picking this one, so let's go with them. Actually, this is the one that was that was flying around crazy, so I do want to try that. Circle map looks good. We all spawn on one side. They probably spawn on the other. This is going to be great, I think. How do I go up? I can't go up. Oh, it's different than the helicopters. You can't just stabilize and go up. You actually have to point and go up. So you can only really go where you're pointing. That's pretty stupid. This is weird. I don't know about this. Bro, I hate this. I actually hate this. I'm actively hating this right now. Now I know why it took so long to queue up. This is terrible. It's so dumb. Why did they change it? I should be able to hit stabilizer and up, and this should push me up. Like a helicopter, like the helicopter mode. I don't know why they changed it, dude. It's completely fine the way it was. Yeah, I don't like this. And gone. Now he's gone. Now I have to go all the way up again. Here, look. Now we have to go all the way up again because we can't fly up. We have to literally fly up. We have to face up to fly up. What is this? Is it Nintendo 64? Am I playing Nintendo 64? Can somebody tell me if I went back in time and I'm now playing a Nintendo 64? Because this is the mechanic of that one game I played on it. It was just exactly like this. Pretty good view, though. I mean, look, I'm not even playing and this guy can't kill me. Like, that's how bad this game mode is. I'm actually not playing. It's so difficult for him to control his car. And he can't even fly normal, or hover normal, or elevate normal. And I'm not playing, and I'm still alive. He's shooting at me, too, the whole time. He just can't aim the shot right, because it's impossible to control this. Why would you add a flying brawl, but the flying mechanic is completely different? I didn't try, actually. You know what? If they change that for the helicopters too, I'm going to lose my mind. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, look. If I hold stabilizer and up, see how I just go up? I'm not facing up. I don't have to look up and fly up. That's crazy they did that. I don't know why they decided to change it. But that was a stupid mistake on their part. I don't like that at all. As always, boys, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you're newer to the Killzilla channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. The YouTube is where you can get all of the videos, the clips, the streams. Everything will be there, nice and organized on the Killzilla channel. But Twitch is better for live streaming. So anything live will be more like Twitch orientated, and then it'll be saved on YouTube, right? So drop a sub on YouTube, maybe jump over to Twitch, drop a sub there as well. And also, likes and comments are very big time, guys. All of the comments I reply to, so if you have a question or concern or you want to voice your opinion, go for it. If it's good enough information for like a new player, I like to pin those. Sometimes I forget a little bit of information, so feel free to, correct me, give me some criticism or any types of tips. All the real fans out there, I love y'all. I love you boys very, very much, truly. Y'all are killing it out there. I appreciate the support, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going until somebody makes me Crossout partner. Deuces!